Hello, I'm Nathan Judo. I'm here with Wolves reporter Mr. Liam Keane. Liam, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Burnley 0. This could be the shortest post-match video ever. That wasn't a great watch, but job done in the end.
Yeah, look, the only thing that matters from this game, from a Wolves perspective, is 3 points.
Correct.
Because it was a pretty poor game. Now, if we're being honest, Wolves were the better side. Wolves earned the 3 points. Wolves were better value for the win, absolutely, no doubt about that. But Wolves definitely weren't at their best. They were facing a Burnley side that were very poor, if we're being brutally honest.
Off the back of a 5-0 win, though.
Off the back of a 5-0 win, to their credit, but very poor on the day. It comes down to two big moments for me, and it's not just the goal. The goal was the second one. The big one is Dan Burnley down here. An incredibly important, as well as incredibly impressive, double save. The first one comes across, and it's 7 yards maybe. Jay Rodriguez has got to score it. He comes off his line really quickly, smothers him, gets a great save in. And then the second one, I think, I'm not sure you agree with me, I think it's probably more impressive.
You're going to have to look at it again, but I mean...
Because the first one's more instinctive.
Yeah.
He's quick off his line. Yeah, exactly. Distinctive, perfect. The second one, it takes the deflection. It's coming round the corner of a defender, sees it late and gets a hand on it, turns it around the corner, gets down low. I think it's a superb save. So that keeps Wolves in the game and allows Hwang to go get that winner in the end.
Because they were sloppy, weren't they? And they were going, I mean, it was quiet in them all, it just didn't feel right. It was the pace was very slow, and that's kind of what Burnley wanted. They were missing a couple as well tonight, Burnley. One went off, they had Bayer suspended, so they weren't at full strength. Neither were Wolves, of course, but at the same time, you felt that Wolves needed to take the ball by the horn, take that impetus, and they weren't doing that. And then Dan Bentley, like you say, has got them out of trouble. Hwang Chan, what can you say? Another goal. I mean, it's just an incredible season.
Yeah, look, 9 in all competitions now, 8 in the Premier League. We were speaking on the podcast probably a couple of months ago now and said, look, he's got 4 or 5 goals, he's looking good. If he can go and do now 10 Premier League goals for him this season, that'll be a tremendous success. You have to say now, based on how the season's going,
15?
He should be looking at 15.
Wow.
He should be adjusting his targets based on his performance. And to be honest, he was quite quiet tonight. He wasn't the only one, but he was quite quiet. But he goes and gets the decisive touch and the decisive moment for Wolves again, and that's the difference. When you've got a player scoring goals on form like that, it's the difference between 1 point or no points and 3 points.
Yeah, and a word on Mateus Cunha as well, the assist tonight.
Yep.
That's 4 attacking returns, 2 goals, 2 assists in the last 4 games, going through the run. You know, we all know that he contributes more to the side than just goals and assists. He works very hard, as Gary O'Neill said many times, but at the same time, when you strikers like to score goals, like to contribute in games, like to feel good, and that's only going to help him as well going forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he's got a handful of goals and assists now to his name, as you say, in terms of the last few games going really well for him. I'm a big fan of Mateus Cunha. I don't think he's an out-and-out striker. Gary O'Neill said that himself. I don't think many fans think he's an out-and-out striker. You play him off someone who is an out-and-out number 9, I think you're going to get the best out of him. But he's essentially a makeshift number 9 right now, doing his best for the side, and I think he's doing a tremendous job because it's not easy to play that role on its own, regardless of when you're a player who's probably not quite suited to it. So look, for me, he runs himself into the ground, and that is a bare minimum for any footballer. But when you see the way that he carries himself on the pitch and the way he fights for Wolves, I'm a big fan of what he brings.
Bellegarde dropped to the bench tonight. Pablo Sarabia came in. Mixed night for Sarabia. I thought he got himself involved, especially in the first half, but it was just a little bit lethargic, a little bit slow. It wasn't flowing. And I guess, to be fair to him, he's come in. He hasn't played a lot of football recently, and obviously had a fantastic contribution with the goal and the assist, but at the same time is lacking probably a bit of match fitness, and it showed tonight a little bit.
Yeah, that was his first Premier League start since September 3rd.
Wow.
Away at Palace. So he's been very much out of the picture. We know what he did here off the bench against Spurs, but that was a long time ago now, particularly when you watch that performance. I don't think he was particularly bad, but he was particularly good either. No. He was involved in everything. It's a strange one, because he was involved in everything for Wolves.
Yes.
And did very little when he was involved. It was a strange afternoon for him.
His delivery's got as an evening. This wasn't afternoon. It was 3 o'clock kickoff.
I'm losing track, mate. No, I think the point you were about to make, which I was going to say as well, is set piece delivery. Yeah. Second half was a lot better, but first half, there was 2 corners in the first half that were diabolical. I mean, it was first man, but it was like thigh height first man. It was a terrible corner. Both of them were. So, yeah, improvements to be made, but steady enough.
There were a few off performances today. Like you say, Sarabia, where the Bellegarde comes in for Nottingham Forest. I thought João Gomes was under par tonight. You might look at someone like Boubacar Traoré, or maybe Doyle coming in that. And then at the end of the game, Hugo Bueno looked like he got a bit of a knock there. I'm not sure exactly where Ryan Aït-Nouri is. We'll see what Bueno's like for Saturday against Forest. Matt Doherty might get a start as well. So at least they've got cover in that position, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how far away Aït-Nouri is. I know Gary O'Neill has indicated he's not too far away, and I think he would like to see him back at Forest, so we'll see how it goes this week. If he isn't around, you've got the situation with Johnny at the moment not being around the team. You've basically got two fullbacks for two positions, and one of them is Matt Doherty having to play out of position. So not an ideal scenario if Aït-Nouri isn't available and Bueno is injured. A lot of ifs and buts there. We've got to wait and see how Bueno is, but he looked a little bit uncomfortable, although he did walk off towards the end. So
there's options there. You could play left back and play forward. There's options. They're not bare bones anyway. They've got some options there.
They're close. They're not far away.
Well, someone who I said will be knocking on the door, and I tell you what, Dan Bentley, clean sheet against Arsenal when he came on. Clean
did very well as well.
Yeah, clean sheet here. If Jose Sarr is fit for Nottingham Forest, I'm sure, Liam, if you weren't going to, I'm sure you will ask Mr. Gary O'Neill this question either today or on Friday. He's got a decision to make there.
I think he does. We saw Bentley come in against Ipswich, and it wasn't his best afternoon or evening. It was evening then as well.
Get on your watch, lad.
I think he's a very good goalkeeper, and I think he's very, very good around the squad and the dressing room. But he proved tonight that he's got the capability, and albeit he did that end of last season as well when he played at United under Lopetegui as well. But he's proved that he's got the capability to play Premier League football. And I know it was Burnley, and I know they're not particularly doing well this season and all the context around it, but you've still got to do your job. And he made two tremendous saves there, looked comfortable throughout, and he looked in the opposite goal, Trafford for Burnley, looked very shaky every time he had the ball at his feet, every time he had an opportunity to pass out from the back, he looked very nervous. I didn't see that in Bentley. I saw someone calm, composed, organised and confident, and that is what you need in a goalkeeper, because it instills confidence in the back line and the rest of the team. Jose Sarr, I think, is a very good goalkeeper. He's had dodgy moments here and there, but I think he's been fairly steady for a little bit of time now under Gary O'Neill. But it's a big decision to make, and it's one that I don't think O'Neill will take lightly.
We've squeezed out 6 minutes out there.
Somehow it's a dreadful game.
Wolves 1, Burnley 0. For the post-match reaction, make sure you log on to Express and Star. Can I do it? I mean, it was a terrible game.
I mean, they are recording on Amazon down there. Gary's doing his.
No, there's Michael Owen.
Go on, why not?
And they got 3 points.
Yeah.